What's your name?
My name is Marilyn.
Marilyn what?
Kinsey.
Oh, Kinsey, and you're the mother hen.
I'm the mother hen.
Oh, great.
I like it better to be called a shepherdess. Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, the shepherdess, sorry.
Right.
Well, what the heck is this thing behind you? That's incredible.
At the very top is the fortress.
Wow.
The Uchasar Fortress.
Uchasar Fortress.
Yeah.
Wow. And when was this fortress built?
We've asked you to be the one to go up in.
Oh, well, you and me.
Stanford-
We're going right next. We're next up there.
We want the Stanford banner to fly at the top.
So there's a little Stanford group. They're all getting ready to jump. They've had it with this tour, I think.
They think the tour manager.
Yeah, the mother hen tour manager is too much for everybody. Commentators from Greenbrier, California. What's your name, sir? What's your name, sir?
My name is Edward Ripple. My friends call
Ripple.
me Ned, and I'm having a time of my life here. I
yeah.
can't believe how cool Turkey is.
How'd you like that underground city, Ned? Wasn't that phenomenal?
As you probably know.
Was that the highlight of your trip so far?
I liked it about as well as the day I woke up nailed into a coffin.
Right now I'm in the heart of Avanos, which is in the heart of Anatolian Cappadocia. And this is an interesting old piece of architecture. Looks like it's from the late 19th century. So we're in Avanos, which is just northeast of Nevşehir. And of course there's ceramic shops everywhere. You see these ladies, typical ladies. Okay, so here's where I think the Stanford group should be staying, in the Kirkit Pension, right in the center of Avanos. Then we come to the main mosque, right on the banks of whatever river this is. Okay, here's a nice view of Avanos with, I'm not sure what river this is. It's heading downstream back toward the west. Tons of geese. So it appears from this gondola that Avanos is the Venice of Asia Minor. So this is the Goremi open-air museum of 3rd century Christian churches. This is where the Christian church really kind of coalesced in Cappadocia, one of the first places where there were a large number of Christians. So here we are at the Dark Church in the Goremi area. These are where the early Christians lived and sorted out a lot of the early theology. So these were hermits, and they lived in these rock walls. Actually raised pigeons in there's churches with beautiful frescoes all through this little valley.
And it has beautiful iconography inside. It's just amazing.
When were these frescoes done?
We're not quite sure.
You're not? So how many people live in this valley?
Oh my goodness, you're asking me way too many questions.
Just make it up for the
2,000.
2,000. One of the rock churches of Goremi, where the hermits, the early Christian hermits hung out, and they painted frescoes all over the ceiling and the walls of these places. This is called up here the Dark Church. It's just an amazing place.
Exactly. Where you find very small fibers in the ground, and you place a...
Who are you guys?
Hi, Rich.
Okay,
I'm
Ned
Christy.
Ripple and Christy
Fraser.
Both lawyers, unfortunately, but you know.
I'm lapsed.
Okay, lapsed
We're
lawyer.
nice.
Good.
We're
You're nice lawyers.
We're Rich's new
Okay.
friends.
Okay, where are we, guys? Christy, where are we?
We're in Goremi.
Goremi, huh? Why is this famous?
It's famous for the monastic community that started before the 12th century.
Can you give me the exact year it started?
Yes, let's say 1140.
1140, okay.
It said that these people worked an awful long time with some chisels and hammers
kidding.
to make some beautiful chapels inside the rock with naves and asps and everything.
How many people live in this area?
They don't really know, but they only enough as many chickpeas that they could grow.
Pigeons.
Pigeons. So they had chickpeas and pigeons for dinner every day. Okay.
Exactly. I thought they were going to say that when they kept the pigeons, they used them to eat, but they just used them for their guano.
And the guy who ran this community was the Bishop Saint Basil, which I guess is the same guy from Saint Basil's Church in Russia. And chief saint of the Eastern Orthodox Christian
Same
Church.
indentations would be on the other side, that little strip going up, so they could use their hands and feet to go up to the... So to go from lower level, you would have to use these indentations to climb up to the second floor. As you notice, the rooms have been sort of dyed in dark color It is actually the soot of the fire that they would run here. And it actually comes from a particular Greek term said, read ichthus. Ichthus in Greek means fish. Satirio. When we get to Greek Roman cities, you'll see more of this pattern engraved on the paving stones of the streets and the entrance of the shops in public areas. The idea was to attract the attention of a Christian. They would know the meaning of it. But of course, to calm the pagan Romans, they had actually created a very nice system that they called this a kind of a board game, but the Latin form would be tablinum laudicus, but the Greeks called it lithosteros, the stone game. 6 pieces of colored stone, so people would sit and play it around like a backgammon checker. But the Christians would know what the meaning of this. It was actually gathering ground for the Christians.
This is efficient great churches, and they're in there as a depiction of the enthroned Mother Mary holding the baby Jesus.
I see.
And
So this is where Jesus changed the
No,
water
this
into
is
wine?
not.
This is where he
is not.
multiplied the
This
fishes or the
is
loaves? I can't get this straight.
You're all confused, Rich.
I can't get it straight.
Start over
a
with Bible
10th
101.
century chapel.
10th century chapel. Okay,
That's
so
right.
this is much later.
Much better, much
Okay.
later.
Now, how about
Look at
the
it, look at
geology here? Can you tell me what
Those are pigeon condominiums.
pigeon
over there.
condos right there?
Pigeon condominiums.
Where are the pigeons? I don't see too many pigeons.
They left.
They left?
Blew the coop.
Oh,
And
pigeon condos. Wow. You guys, I understand, are Phrygian developers.
we are. Yeah. We just turned our frigid off.
And what are you going to develop this area into?
We're gonna have
to go up to the golf courses up in the top.
Oh, golf course. What a smart idea.
well multi-season. Ski in the winter and play golf in the summer.
Oh, no kidding.
Because you can't play golf in the snow.
Have you broken ground yet?
Yeah, we've broken a lot of ground.
We just turned around.
Everything's
It's all
breaking around here.
Actually,
Everything's breaking around here.
We've been at this for almost
So get
4,000
out of this place.
for 4,000 years. It's a long-term deal.
This
or
was
short-term
a this was a development over here that Scott built 2 years ago.
I did. It fell down already. The roof already caved in. Nice job, Scott.
2-year deal from Scott.
Mesos Uranieri, which is a old ruin from Roman times, from like a period after Alexander the Great, that are built about almost 6,000 feet in the air, right above the Mediterranean, by a group of people, mountain people, descendants of the Hittites.
1,000 spectators. It is beautiful perch on this very sharp cliffs, looking over to the beautiful setting of the mountains. And further, you can actually see the edge of the city. And in a clear day, without the haze, you can see the Mediterranean from here.
Oh yeah.
Well, just beyond the
We're out there,
city,
yeah.
the city, just
Yes,
in that
yes,
little
yes.
V.
Yes. These buildings, there are in fact 5 rooms, and according to some officials, that's the area where they.
Place is incredible. Jeez.
Well, then was
So this place seated 5,000 people at one time. Here's our little Stanford group heading out toward the edge out there, overlooking the Mediterranean right from that edge of the theater. This is about 5,500 feet in the air. The Mediterranean's out beyond that mountain. Here's the baths of the ancient city of Pergé from the Roman times. And here are more of the Roman baths of Pergé, right on the Mediterranean coast. 1st century AD.
So the basins filled with the hot water here, this is where the people would come for a short time to heat up, to shock the body with the high temperature. As you see, the ground, like the other room, was lowered and it's been raised over on these terracotta pillars, where the space is narrower. So the hot air amount is lesser here, since it was in a higher quantity in the next room. So it would be circulating in a longer run in this very ground between this narrow path, in cooling down in the meantime as well. So in order to let the walls also heat up, be very careful. Or as
That's Shah Abbas.
letter W, Anessa, the mother tractor going through that eastern end where the arches are, part of the aqueduct work. And there's work continuing over there at the moment, so our coaches are excavating there.
So this is the Hellenistic Tower of Pergé, which was built after Alexander conquered or took over this area in 334 BC. And these columns right in front of the Hellenistic Tower are from Roman times, when the Romans came in about 100 AD to 300 AD. It's one of the Roman women from the 1st century AD, remarkably well preserved, at least as well preserved as the columns in back of her. We've now come to the town of Aspendos in Pamphylia, which contains the most important, best preserved Roman theater in the entire Mediterranean region, Aspendos, and we're going to go into this sort of right there below the Acropolis. So this theater of Aspendos was built in the 2nd century AD under the reign of Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, and it's still used to this day for operas. In fact, the opera Rigoletto is going to be performed here, I think tonight or tomorrow night. But it's the best preserved of all the theaters in the Roman Empire.